In the large city, life was fast and restless. People rushed through crowded streets chasing work and survival. Many were already weary and burdened, but one winter everything changed. A powerful storm swept. Across the city the wind howled like a beast tearing down trees. Power lines and rooftops, snow and ice, covered the streets, and within hours, thousands were left without electricity, food or safe shelter. The nights were the worst, dark, cold and silent except for the sound of the storm. Families huddled together in the dark. Mothers tried to warm their children with blankets. Fathers struggled to find food, and the elderly sat shivering, whispering prayers. Fear spread quickly, and some began to lose hope. But in the middle of that chaos, a small church stood firm. The building was old, with peeling paint and a leaking roof, but its doors were still open. Inside, Pastor Samuel lit a few candles and prayed. "Lord, we are weak, but you are strong. Use us to bring hope to this city." The congregation was small, but their hearts were filled with faith. They began preparing hot meals with the little they had, offering blankets to strangers and welcoming anyone who had nowhere to go. Slowly word spread. People came not only for food and warmth, but also for prayer, comfort, and peace. Soon neighbors joined the effort. A baker donated bread, a shop owner gave canned food, and families shared what little they had left. Volunteers began arriving, drawn by the light of faith shining in the darkness. One night a man entered the church trembling from the cold. His clothes were torn, his face weary. A volunteer handed him a bowl of hot soup. Tears filled his eyes as he whispered, "I thought God had forgotten me, but now I see He sent me here." Day after day, the church served hundreds of people. Children laughed again as they played near the warmth of the fire. Families prayed together, giving thanks. Despite their losses, the storm continued to rage outside. But inside the church there was warmth, joy, and peace. Weeks later, the storm passed. Slowly, the city began to rebuild. Homes were repaired, electricity returned, and businesses reopened. But people remembered something greater than the storm. They remembered the love of God revealed through ordinary hands. During the first Sunday service after the storm, the church was filled with people who had never been there before. Pastor Samuel stood before them, his eyes wet with tears, and said, "We had little, but God multiplied it. We were weak, but His strength carried us. His hands rescued us through every meal, every blanket, every prayer. Never forget, God's love shines brightest in the darkest storm." From that day on, the church was no longer just a building. It was called the House of Hope, a place where God's love had shone brighter than the storm, and the people who had once felt abandoned now walked in, faith knowing that the same God who rescued them would never let them go.